Oh, hey folks, Dude here. Coming to you. Well, you know what? I'm kind of really not doing that dating thing now. I mean, you can kind of look down, you can see what's going on, and you can see dating for what it is. Kind of making do with a camera, so, the picture's kind of Alright, so that said, it'll be pretty much kind of an update thing, and well, it's been probably one of these things where you guys know me. I mean, I come up with these ideas, and then I kind of think it through, and I say, self. Yeah, what you want now? Oh, okay, I say self. So anyway, the late death of breath essentially now is we find ourselves, not self, find ourselves, now basically doing those things in which we try to do by looking at a project, looking at a process, and going, hey, does it really play out for me to do it like X, or should I be doing something different? Case in point, I now have I got many scopes in my collection. I've kind of been on a Tasco kick again. This one being an older 1x75 by 5? 1x75 by 5. 32 or 40 millimeter. Yeah, 40 millimeter. So this one's one of the classic old school guys. This one, of course, being another one like you saw in the Colt H bar, Colt Delta H bars, and well, they're kind of rarefied. Of course, I put it on the put it on the arms mount, being a smart ass playing around with things, and I have the test upper that I picked up from well, of all places. Midway, and they have their branch known as AR Stoner, which most people either like or don't like. It's a cheaper alternative, and they have some runs when they do some stuff, and it comes out, some of the stuff is actually really cheap, some of the stuff actually has really good notoriety, some of it is just pretty much just, yeah, exactly, that's thanks, sound guy, that's exactly what the final execution comes out to be, is it's not the best. Well, on this one, and I was playing around, and Rich the Ridge Hunter over on Around the Cabin was kind of like scratching his head going, what the hell are you doing, dude? Well, what I did was I came up with this monolithic AR Stoner 15-inch upper. And basically what it is, it's got no barrel on it, so it's pretty much just a non-forward assist. Does have a small case deflector, nothing major there, but I'm a righty, so the rounds are going out. The cases are kicking out to the right anyway, not a big deal. But I was just messing around, and I tried different, mounting issues, and I tried different mounts. And one of the mounts, of course, I have on here is a classic old school B square, really, really light. This one, of course, being a Armalite. It's an Armalite, really, really ruggedized scope mount. Of course, the scope's being on here. This one is a 4x16x40 with adjustable objective, so it's pretty much a target scope. This one, of course, being a classic 3x9x40, one of the classic old school guys. And I was just playing around. I thought it'd be funny to mount both scopes on the same upper, but you guys can see this for what it is. It is literally a lot of real estate. It is a very, very long monolithic rail. And in my heart of hearts, I've been wanting to build, and I've been wanting to have a Mark 12 SPR, also known as a Special Purpose Rifle. Now, if you guys know your history, the Mark 12 was a Special Purpose Rifle. I mean, literally, it was built for special operations guys. It was built for the SEALs. And what they were saying is, look, this M4 ain't doing it. This M16, A3, A4, any iterations, it also is not doing it. We need something that truly has more goodness on board. And just for a quick history, what it is essentially is it is a special purpose upper receiver. It is made by PRI, or Precision Reflex Incorporated, I think is what it is. But PRI makes the upper, and it's a standard alloy receiver with a carbon fiber forend, so it's already light. The classic iteration had a one-piece rail, read like, literally like a one-piece rail. I don't really have a good example here, but essentially what it is was a bolt-on rail that went the entire length, jumped over the coupler collar, jumped over the appropriate places, bolted down in like 3 or 4 places, besides clamping down on the upper receiver, and it gave a lot of real estate to the SEALs to mount like a night vision apparatus, lighting apparatus, laser designators, laser target pointers, all that good stuff that, unfortunately, with an NSN number that is unreachable for us normal people, For the Special Forces guys, it is normal stuff to say, okay, I'm down in the armory, I want an XYZ, I want a PDQ, I want to put on the blah, 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 I want this thing to go rat crap crazy, and I want to be able to do everything I need it to do. Now, the other thing, too, is also they had a special purpose built silencer, suppressor, call it what you will, and literally what the suppressor did is it didn't just like screw on the end of the barrel. Oh no. This was a very uniquely built, I believe it was built by OPS, so OPS, OPS Incorporated, and it's now been picked up by somebody else as an after run because OPS, I think, no longer makes those suppressors any longer. But essentially what that suppressor did was it screwed onto the barrel, but it did something very, very cool that you normally don't see most people do when they build suppressors. Most of the time they build a suppressor, it screws on the end, it's just basically a big muffler that screws on the end of the rifle. Not so with this one that they had for the Mark 12 SPR. This one actually screwed onto the barrel, half by 28, nothing crazy. Everybody does their stuff like that there, nothing crazy. But the rear of the suppressor went over the barrel. It was hollow and it went over the barrel. Of course, it was enclosed on the other end, but it went over the barrel, and close to the flip-up front sight gas block, there was a steel collar that ramped down and had a smaller diameter, larger than barrel diameter, but smaller diameter with a 45-degree taper on it that the suppressor butted up against and then locked onto in two placements. Anything about suppressors, there's two problems that they have immediately with a suppressor. The suppressor, first off, has something known as first round pop. Now that means that essentially when you shoot that first cartridge and the cartridge gas is going through the suppressor, there's oxygen. Now the oxygen, of course, gives a secondary bang, pop, call it what you will, to that first cartridge being fired, and it makes the suppressor louder than it would be normally. So much so that there's actually secondary products out there. There's like, there's like this goop that you can just squirt inside your receiver, slosh it around. There's actually even like a foam that you squirt into your suppressor that knocks down the first round pop and makes it quieter. Classic sense would be essentially just to design a suppressor that just doesn't suffer first round pop, or it essentially has what's known as an expansion chamber. So literally, as the bullet is going through the suppressor, that first initial area that it hits is going to fill up with all the highest pressure gas. It's going to have the most amount of heat. It's going to have the most amount of sound energy that it needs to dissipate. So literally what you want to have, as opposed to this little tiny box, you want to have a larger box. That is known as the expansion chamber or the initial expansion chamber. Now, one of the things that's really cool about this SPR suppressor is literally that expansion chamber gives some place for the first round pop or all that high energy to go and spread out, slow down, lose energy, and dissipate before it goes to the second baffle, third baffle, fourth baffle, finally on all the way out to the exit, whatever it is for the construction. But essentially, I really liked that rifle, and I was intending somewhere down the line to build one. But you know what? The parts to build a proper Mark 12 right now are just short of prohibitively expensive, unless you really know somebody, blow somebody, or know somebody and blow somebody. Of that, I shall not get into it any deeper, but you guys can just do the math on that one. So essentially now what this one's going to be, this one's not going to be a Star Wars rifle any longer, because, well, that's cool and all, but not really feeling it. So I'm thinking right now this is going to be my iteration of an SPR when I'm all said and done with it. Now, the other thing, too, is also all those guys going, oh, you got to have a forward assist. Okay, the first thing they teach you in the Marine Corps is, yeah, you got a forward assist. Don't use it. Don't use it. If you got an issue, get the charging handle back, drop the magazine, crank the rifle over, shake. Get the magazine back in, get back into action. You don't have to tap a crap round into a chamber if it's not wanting to go. Don't do that. Get the magazine out of there. You have a nice large ejection port on the bottom. You have a secondary ejection port on the side of the receiver. Oh, but that magazine well is like, I don't know, like 3 times the size of that ejection port. That's why you drop the magazine first as a, oh no, I'm out of action, get back into action, crap is happening, first effort. So that's why you do that one. Don't use a forward assist. Forward assist is really one of those things that they insisted upon. The U.S. Army insisted upon it versus the Air Force. The Air Force is like, we just want a light rifle that works. The Army said, oh, no, we got to have a forward assist so you can go and cram all the crap in there that didn't want to function the first time around into a gun that doesn't want to shoot. Don't do that to yourself, okay? So anyway, that's kind of a mini update here. And, of course, a little history lesson on the SPR Mark 12. Just read up on it. It is a awesome piece of kit. As a matter of fact, that was the one that Marcus Luttrell was carrying during his time of trying to survive the worst of the worst of the worst as lone survivor. He was carrying a Mark 12, and he was using it to very, very good effect. All right, folks, I'm going to break up this one. Eat good, keep as always, you know it, you love it. Yes, craziness that I build. Why? My gun, that's why. All right, catch you guys later. Have a good week, and, podcast on sometime. But, yeah, this airs, and you guys can catch it in some later iteration, and it is tuned in, okay? You guys will see it, okay? Catch you guys later. Eat good, keep as always, you know it, you love it. Good gun, good gun, good goodness. Good gun, goodness. Catch you guys later. See you guys. Hey, Darth Vader! I'm not building a Star Wars gun. Sorry! No! Oh, what a crybaby.